Where do babies come from? Well, I think they come from when an angel lights on their mother's chest and whispers into her ear. That's what makes good babies start to grow. Bad babies come from when fallen angels squeeze in down there. I don't know where good babies come out. And you can't tell the difference, except the bad babies cry a lot and make their fathers go away, and their mothers get very ill and sometimes die. Mummy wasn't very happy when she died. I think she went to hell because every time I see her in my visions, she looks like she stepped out of a hot shower. And I can't tell whether it's her or the lady that talks to me. They fight over me all the time. I first saw the lady when I was 10 years old. I was lying on the grass and looking at the sun. And the sun became a cloud, and the cloud became the lady. And she told me she would talk to me. But sometimes I don't know what she's saying. Like right now, she's crying, Marie, Marie. And she uses me to sing. It's like she's throwing a hook around my ribs, and she's trying to pull me up, but I can't move because Mummy's holding my feet. And all I can do is sing with her voice, the lady's voice. God loves you. God loves you. I don't eat because I've been commanded by God. Getting fat. There's too much flesh on me. I want to be attractive to God. Look at the statues. They're thin. That's because they're suffering. Suffering is beautiful. I want to be beautiful. Christ said in the Bible, "Suffer the little children, for of such is the kingdom of heaven." I want to suffer like a little child. I am a child. Only my body is getting bigger, and I don't want it to get bigger, otherwise I can't squeeze into heaven. I'm being punished and I don't know why. The bleeding started this morning and it won't stop. Why me? Why me?
I came this close to being on the Wayne and Schuster show, but I didn't get on because of Corey Jo Croynan. Only everybody called her Lucy because she was so funny, you know, like Lucille Ball. Well, about a week before my mother was to drive me into Toronto for my audition at the CBC, they had a variety show at the high school. I was really looked up to there because of my baton twirling, and they were going to have a tribute in my honor. I sat there with my sisters Opal and Pearl and our family and relatives, and the band starts playing my Sousa music. The curtain goes up, and there's Corey Jo, wearing my costume and twirling an invisible baton. And she starts doing my routine, but she's doing it all wrong. And everybody's laughing. And they're pointing their fingers at me with tears of laughter rolling down their faces. And it just broke my heart. The teacher said that it was flattery for someone to do an impression of you, but I didn't believe her. Around that time, Bucky got a job at the Sunoco station, and he came by in his new uniform, and oh, he looked so good in it. He said he had a good paying job and could support me, and it would be an honor to be married to a star such as me. I invited Corey Jo to the wedding, and she cried all through the ceremony. And then she did her impression of me at my reception.
He was a boy, just a boy, when I was a young girl. At 16, I made the discovery. Love. All at once, but much, much too completely. It was as if a spotlight was shining its light on things that had half been in shadows. That's how the world seemed to me. But I was unlucky, deceived. There was something about the boy, a nervousness, sentimental tenderness, not like a man's. Although he wasn't feminine in any way, still that thing was there. He had come to me for help. Oh, I didn't know this until after our marriage. We'd run away and come back, and all I knew was that I had disappointed him in some way. I wasn't able to help him. He wasn't able to say. It was like he was in quicksand, clutching up for me, but I couldn't pull him up because I was being pulled in too. I couldn't help him. I couldn't even help myself. And then I found out in the worst possible ways. I went into a room that I thought was empty, but it wasn't. In it were two people. Afterwards, we pretended that nothing had been discovered. Later, the three of us drove to Moon Lake Casino, very drunk and laughing all the way. We danced the Marsuyana. The boy I was dancing with suddenly left the dance floor and went out of the casino. Moments later, I heard a shot. I went to it. Everybody did. Everybody wanted to see the thing by the lake. I tried to push my way through, but the crowd was blocking me. Then a hand pulled my arm and said, "Don't go any further, stay back. You don't want to see." See? See what? And then I heard the voices. Alan, the young gray boy. He had put a revolver in his mouth and pulled the trigger so that the back of his head came off. It was because moments earlier on the dance floor, unable to stop myself, I had said, I know, you disgust me. Suddenly that bright light was turned off, never to shine on the world again. And to this day, nothing has ever been brighter than this kitchen candle.
So Mrs. Fowler sent you. Have a seat. Welcome. Soak it, please. You know Mrs. Edith Potter? She's having another one, number 8. Oh, my goodness. Do you know Mrs. Stephen Haynes? I'm sure Mrs. Fowler's told you all about that. Yes, Mrs. Fowler said she feels awfully sorry for her. You would too if you knew this girl, Crystal Allen. Crystal Allen, she's the girl who's living with Mr. Haynes. Oh, you don't like the file? Oh, Mrs. Potter says it sets her unborn child's teeth on edge. Yeah, so Mrs. Fowler didn't tell you. Oh, well, then you will be interested. You see, Crystal Allen is a friend of mine. Yeah, she's really a terrible man-trap. Soak it, please. Yes, she works behind the perfume counter at Saks. So was I before I got fired. left. That's where she met him. Yeah, it was a couple of months ago. Us girls wasn't busy. We were standing behind the counter, and it was an awful rainy day, I remember. So he walks up to the counter. He was the serious type, nice looking, but a little thin on top. Anyway, Crystal nabs him. I want to buy some perfume, he says. May I ask what type of woman for? Crystal says, very ritzy. That didn't mean a thing. She was going to sell him our features, Summer Rain, anyway. Is she young? Crystal says. No, he says, kind of embarrassed. Is she the glamorous type? No, thank God, he says. Oh, thank God, Crystal says, and bats her eyes. She's got the type of eyes that run up and down a man like a searchlight. So she puts some perfume on her palm and the crook of her arm for him to smell. And he starts sniffing around, and I guess he liked it because we heard him tell her his name, which one of the girls recognized from Charlie Knickerbocker's column. Gosh, you're nervous. Anyway, it was after that I left, and I wouldn't have thought any more about it, but then a couple of weeks later, I stopped by Crystal's place to say hello, and the landlady said that she has moved to the type of house where she can entertain her gentleman friend. What gentleman friend, she said. Oh, why, Mr. Haynes, that Crystal Allen has had in her room all hours of the night. Oh, did I hurt you? Oh, sorry. 1 coat or 2? Oh. Oh, but I thought that's what you came in for. Oh, all right. Well, I'll tell Mrs. Fowler you were in, Miss... Oh, my goodness. Oh, Mrs. Haynes, I'm terribly, terribly sorry. Isn't there anything that I could do? Oh, sure. I won't tell anyone. No, that would be kind of humiliating for you, I'm sure. Oh, but Mrs. Haynes, in a way, I'm kind of glad that you know, because this Crystal, she's really a terrible person. I mean, she's terribly clever, and she's terribly pretty, and if I was you, I wouldn't waste no time getting Mr. Haynes away from her. I mean, now you know, Mrs. Haynes.